Hi everyone, welcome back to the second house series, this lovely little short series and many other short series I'll be bringing to this channel. And I'm very passionate about changing the poverty mindset that even has been spread in astrology. I highly suggest that you guys check out the intro video to this because it goes into more detail on the approach that I take towards the second house. Now, let's begin. So if you have Taurus in your second house, this is a house of production, and Taurus is the aesthetic of what it is that you produce. With Taurus in the second house, you quite often are going to create products that help people feel better about their self-worth, their sense of who they are, and what it is that they can do. You'll see that certain people who create products, whatever the product would be, that it helps people to also make money or feel good about making money or feel good even about spending money. If you have Taurus in the second house, you might create products that are connected to massage, to self-care, things like that. And in fact, the second house itself is deeply connected to self-care. And this is why it's a house of production, because we create things to help people be better in life. And that is why the value of that's why money is used in the sense of valuing things, right? So whatever it is that you need to enhance your life, it's going to come out of creating it in the second house. Quite often people who have this place, like for instance, Rihanna, they are going to create things that help you look better, right? Taurus in the second house, Taurus is connected to Venus. So this is where you're having people, create makeup products like Rihanna does. You know what I'm saying? So in the sense of it, it could also be things that ignite the senses. So makeup is one thing, but let's say you like to do perfumes or things like that. All of these ideas are not for you to feel locked into just these concepts, but I want it to be a catalyst for you to take off into all the things that you know about Taurus and put it into a product. That's what your second house in Taurus is supposed to be about. Okay, so naturally, a lot of people who have second house in Taurus also make music. And while music could be something that is across the board, you'll see that quite often they create music that is feel-good music that makes people feel more worthy, right? Feel good about themselves. You'll have people who are really connected to their beauty, and their beauty can be a part of what makes them want to create a product. So that's why Rihanna is such a great example, because she actually creates beauty products. But Taurus also, again, can help people make money. So these could be people who who create products that help people learn how to manage money, learn how to make their own money. People who learn how to find their self-worth, people who need to know how to produce in general. Like, let's say, for instance, like you don't know how to create perfume. You could literally create a product that teaches people how to create perfume. That's also something that can happen here with Taurus in the second house. The biggest thing that you're also seeing is that, a lot of people who have Taurus in the second house, they're really connected to money making. And it's also within them. So the second house is naturally where you spend your money, right? So you naturally want to spend money on things that are beautiful for you as well. But the second house is really more connected to that production value. And it's really important for me to stress that to you, because when you understand that it's about production value, you're going to approach money in a way where you're not looking always for somebody to hire you to do it. You're going to be considering yourself a product maker, and you'll see that the best of the best are doing it this way, right? Even if they have astrology or not, they have that knowledge. Quite often in astrology, we only see it as, well, this is where people hire you and they cut you a check. And I'll talk to you about that in just a second, but it's really important for me to stress to you that the second house is where you produce first. Now, because Taurus is connected to gardens and farming, this is also a space where people could be connected to animals, right? You could be connected to making products for animals, with animals, and everything in between. And like I said, Taurus is the natural ruler of the second house. So the reason that I say it's a production house first, more than anything else, is coming from Taurus, which is the zodiac sign of produce, the place where we plant our seeds, create plants and gardens and have produce. So these are the people who naturally could do that very thing, work with gardens. And either you're working with gardens to build your own garden and create your actual literal produce, or you may create products for people so that they can do that very same thing. So the other thing about the second house that I keep avoiding, but it's true, is that it's the place where people highly value you, okay? They see you in equal power to something. And so when you're looking at, let's say you are in a situation where you're trying to get a job, you're being interviewed, you get hired for the job, more than likely it's because they valued something about you that they find in your second house. And because Taurus is in the second house for you, then more than likely they value you because you're very beautiful looking. It's very possible that that's all that it is. Tauruses can be, anything that's Venus related can be very superficial, and you got to just accept that. You could have deep, strong, pretty privilege. Just like how the previous video where I talk about Aries in the second house, they have sexy privilege. You know what I'm saying? So they might be hired just because they're sexy. Where in Taurus, you're hired just because you're beautiful. It could also be that you have natural values that really match them. And so this is something to think about. Let's say that you are trying to get a job. Really think about what the values are of that space. Think about how you want to present your values. This is the key. And honestly, if you're in a job that they don't like your values, it's not the one for you, especially Taurus in the second house. You got to be in a place that you highly value what they're doing. And if you are just doing it for the money, here it could be really detrimental to your spirit, because Taurus is a conviction of values with Taurus here. People highly value you because of what you deem as worthy, what your eye for quality is. That's why people value you. You have a good eye for quality. Going back to Rihanna as an example with Taurus in the second house, she has a really good eye for quality products, makeup, details. She really understood that part of things, and that's also what made her work so great, whether she was in music or makeup. And you can see that a lot of astrology, they'll tell you what industry to be in. That's not what I'm trying to do here. You pick what you want to do, but you can use the astrology as a blueprint to help guide you in the nuances of how you're going to do it. So a same singer could have Taurus in the second house versus a singer who has Scorpio in the second house. But how would they be valued? For different reasons. And so that's what I wanted to bring to the table for you guys. That's Taurus in the second house. If you're interested in going into more detail or learning more, check out below. I'll have some worksheets for you to purchase on my Etsy. And I'll see you guys soon. Peace and love.